Today I'm working on a PCB from a steering wheel controller. It's a Logitech G27 or G29. The controller stopped working and the customer mailed in the motherboard and some diodes and 6 components. So some diodes and some components from the board that needs to be replaced. Let's see what it's about. Okay, so here it is. We can see one component burned. It's a diode. It's a big crack right here. Okay, we see this component has a bubble on it. I'm gonna measure those two diodes. Another component burned here. You can see the burned flux from under the chip. This is a sign that this component got very hot. He wants me to replace this one too. And I'm gonna check to see maybe some other components are burned out. And on the back of the board we got just the traces. Okay, I want to measure this component. Okay, this is shorted. This looks like a TVS diode, and this one looks good. This one also is measuring good. Let me check that capacitor from the back of the board. This is also short circuit, but maybe because of that diode, of that cracked diode, or because of this component, or maybe this, I don't know. I'm going to replace those two components and this diode, and I'm gonna measure everything to see if we still have a short somewhere. And here we have a plastic connector near this chip. Here we have a capacitor, aluminum capacitor, near this chip, and here also we have a connector. If I use hot air, those connectors are gonna melt up, so I don't want to do this. Okay, I think I'm gonna use maybe low melt solder to desolder those components. Okay, let's start. So this is a 495. I don't see all the code. 49516M, I think so. So here we have, oh, it's a G, not a 6. Good. Okay. I'm gonna put some low melt solder to be able to desolder this component easy. So it looks like this chip, maybe it's glued to the board. Oh, it come right off. So the pin number 1 is here. Applying flux. I want to clear this solder. I don't need it anymore. This one and this one, those are big traces, so it takes a lot to solder it with a small tip, because the heat transfer is very high, and the traces are absorbing a big amount of heat. Okay, this one is done. Now I'm gonna replace this one here. I'm gonna use same technique. Because of that plastic connector that is near this chip. Let's move on. I have now to desolder that cracked diode. I'm gonna use same technique. I'm gonna apply here some low melt solder. I should use a bigger tip here. But let's see if this tip is gonna do the job. Let me apply some flux. You can see how this solder remains liquefied for a long time. I want to reach the bottom and the other side of the board, and looks like here it's already done, and the diode is already moving. Nice, it's out. on this type of component I can use the vacuum pump station, but as long that we have low melt solder on the bench, it may seem easier to do that, to use that. Okay, and right now I'm gonna read. I need to keep this orientation, so the silver lines should be in this side, on this side. P6KE P6KE 27, and I think this is an A, right on the crack. Let's see what we have here. We have P6KE 27A. Yes, so it's the right component for this PCB. Let me get rid of that burnt flux. You can see how hot got this component by looking at these signs of burning. Now I need to bend those terminals to fit on those holes. And I think it's gonna work like that. I need to cut those legs later. I'm gonna cut them from here. And I'm gonna solder it like that. Think we have a short anymore, but let's measure. No short here, and let me check in diode mode. We have 0.8 voltage drop. Okay, let me check this one. we got nothing, but because this is a TVS diode, 0.47 voltage drop and 0.8 with inverted probes. Here we got nothing. Zero point 15 voltage drop. Oh, let me check that big capacitor on the back of the board. It had a short circuit before. Oh, look at that. We don't have a short circuit anymore. Nice. I want to check those capacitors. The customer said he wants to replace this chip too. Let's do it. I can see why, but let's do it anyway. It's a 1-minute job. For this one I'm gonna use hot air. Let me make sure. 9977 GM. Yes. Let's make these connections better. Okay, all done. I'm gonna send this to the customer to test and to let me know. So I got a feedback from my customer, and the feedback is positive. It's working. You can see the calibration of the steering wheel. So it's working. That's it. Let's work on something else now.